Turahan Bey. Turakhan Beg was a prominent Ottoman military commander and governor of Thessaly from 1423 until his death in 1456. He participated in many Ottoman campaigns of the second quarter of the 15th century, fighting against the Byzantines as well as against the Crusade of Varna. His repeated raids into the Morea transformed the local Byzantine despotate into an Ottoman dependency and opened the way for its conquest. At the same time, his administration of Thessaly, where he settled new peoples, founded the town of Tyrnavos and revitalized the economy, set the groundwork for Ottoman rule in the area for centuries to come. Nothing is known of his birth date or early life, except that he was the son of Pasha Yigit Bey, who conquered Skopje in 1392 and was the first Ottoman governor of Bosansko-Krajist. He is first mentioned in 1413 as governor of Vidan, and then again in 1422, when he fought against the Byzantine governor of Lamia, Kantaka Uzinos Strabomites. He was one of the supporters of Mustafa Çelebi during the latter's struggle against Mehmed I and Murat II. He became governor of Thessaly in early 1423, and led his first major expedition in May to June of the same year, against the Peloponnese Peninsula in southern Greece. His cavalry breached the recently rebuilt Hexamilion Wall on 22 May and ravaged the interior of the peninsula unopposed. He attacked some Byzantine towns and settlements like Mistras, Leontari, Gardiki and Dabia. Aside from the plunder, the expedition was also probably a reconnaissance mission ultimately aimed against Phoenician possessions in the area, as Venice was the main driving force behind attempts to unite the various Christian rulers of Greece against the Ottoman advance. Soon after, the Byzantine historian Dokas reports Turahan's presence on the shores of the Black Sea. At about the same time, he also campaigned in Epirus, defeated local Albanian tribes and made them tributary to the Ottoman state. In the 1430s, along with Ali Bey and Ishak Bey, he participated in the campaigns that suppressed an Albanian revolt, led by Gjej Arianiti and Andrew Thopia. Despite the devastation visited upon the Peloponnese, Turahan's 1423 expedition was only a raid, and the Byzantine despots of the Morea were able to restore the position and gradually over the next few years bring the entire peninsula under the control. In 1431, however, Turahan again breached and destroyed the Hexamilion and took Thebes in 1435. To prevent it from falling into the hands of the Moro-Byzantines, the despotate of the Morea, under the constant threat of renewed Turkish invasion, clung on to a precarious independence only through continuous gifts and tribute to Turahan. In November 1443, Turahan participated in the Battle of Nis against John Hunyadi, which ended in an Ottoman defeat. During the retreat from Nis, Turahan Bey and Qasim Pasha burned all villages between Nis and Sofia. Turahan persuaded Sultan Murad II to abandon Sofia as well, and follow a consequent scorched earth strategy against the Hungarian advance. Although the Hungarians were badly mauled in the Battle of Zalatica, in a subsequent action at Kunovica they were able to capture Mahmud Bey, the Sultan's son-in-law, creating the impression of an overall victorious campaign. Contemporary Ottoman sources blame rivalry between Qasim and Turahan for the defeat at Kunovica, while some claim that the Serbian despot Turad Branković bribed Turahan not to participate in the battle. Turahan fell from favor as a result and was banished by the Sultan to a prison in Tokat. Nevertheless, he was soon restored to his position, as he was present in Murad's 1446 campaign against against the Morea. Murad was reportedly disheartened by the strength of the Hexamilion, but Turakhan insisted on an assault. Aided by an artillery bombardment, the Ottomans again breached the Byzantine defences and ravaged the Peloponnese at will. As a result, the Morea was now officially reduced to an Ottoman vassal state. In early October 1452, Turakhan and his sons Ahmed and Omar led a large force into the Peloponnese. Sultan Mehmed II ordered them to remain there during the winter in order to prevent despots Thomas and Demetrios from assisting the brother, Emperor Constantine XI, during the siege of Constantinople in 1453. Turakhan again stormed the Hexamilion and penetrated into the Morea, raiding from Corinth through the Argolid and Arcadia to Messenia. The Byzantines put up little resistance after Hexamilion, although Turakhan's son Ahmed was captured in an ambush at Divinikia and imprisoned in Mistras. The fall of Constantinople on the 29th of May 1453 had great repercussions in the Morea. The two despots, the brothers Demetrios and Thomas, heartily detested each other and were unpopular among their own subjects. A rebellion broke out against them in autumn, supported both by the local Albanian immigrants and the native Greeks, and spread quickly. As the Sultan's vassals, the despots called upon Turkish aid, and Turakhan's son Omar arrived in December. After a few successes, he departed after securing the release of his brother from captivity. The revolt did not subside, and in October 1454 Turakhan himself was forced to intervene. After sacking a few fortresses, the rebellious populace capitulated. Turakhan advised the two Paleologoi to compose their differences and rule well, and then departed the peninsula. The two brothers were, however, unable to reconcile themselves, and soon reverted to quarreling and conspiring with Western powers against the Sultan. In retaliation, Mehmed II campaigned in the Morea in 1458 and seized the northwestern half of the country, which became an Ottoman province under Omar. The rest of the despotate followed in 1460. Turakhan himself was recalled to Adrianople in October 1455 and died California, August 1456. He was buried at Kirkavak in Kopru in Thrace, but his memorial tomb survives to this day in the city. His descendants, the Turakhanoglu, were wealthy landowners in Thessaly until the end of the Ottoman rule there in the late 19th century. With the exception of his sons, however, they did not rise to any wider prominence. Legacy. Turahan Bey ranked among the great practically semi-autonomous Ottoman marcher lords of the 15th century Balkans, along the likes of Gazi Evrenos. He was instrumental in the establishment of Ottoman rule in Thessaly and central Greece in general. Aside from his campaigns of conquest, he brought in 5,000 Turkish settlers whom he settled in a string of 12 villages across the province to strengthen Ottoman military control. In addition, according to Turakhan's Arab-language biography, which the Scottish traveller David Urquhart reported to be still extant in the 1830s in Tyrnavos, he was also the first to institute a Greek militia for the lawless mountainous regions of central Greece, the forerunners of the late Armatoloi. Turakhan also took several measures to restore order and prosperity in his province, most notably the foundation of the town of Tyrnavos, which before was a small pastoral settlement. To attract and protect the local Greek Orthodox population, he granted it special privileges, such as special administrative status as a Waqf of the Sharif of Mecca, tax exemptions and the prohibition of Ottoman troops from passing through the town. He also endowed it with both a mosque and a church, St. Nicholas Turakhan, which survives to this day. Turakhan also endowed many other public buildings buildings such as mosques, monasteries, madrasas, schools, caravanserais, bridges and baths across the province. He also took care to maintain and foster the Thessalian cotton, silk and wool textile industry, to the extent that later generations attributed to him the introduction of new dye techniques based on yellow berries, madder and the kale plant, used in the manufacture of potash. Further, these materials spread to the rest of Rumelia and thence to Western Europe. Family tree. After Franz Babinger in the Encyclopedia of Islam,